What up, Battle? Old 64 here. Thanks for clicking on my YouTube channel again. Today we're going to go ahead and check out some video that I took at the Oklahoma City Cars and Coffee. It was the first Saturday in July. I'm thinking that maybe people aren't too interested in the essential trimmers factoids, or they're not too interested in the facts and history on the tactical flag patches that I wear. So I'm going to go ahead and split it up on my YouTube channel. And I'll make sure everything's labeled, whether or not it's going to be on my 96 Oldsmobile 98, my 71 Oldsmobile 98, my 86 Ford F-250, ham radios, or just stuff in general. So let's go ahead and see what kind of video I got at the Oklahoma City Cars and Coffee. Hey. This is your work truck or your personal truck? Truck. Yeah, that's a nice one. You're a welder? Or?
Work on heavy equipment.
That flag actually has 48 stars, doesn't it?
It's old.
Oh yeah? It wasn't like your dad's or grandfather's?
My grandfather's, my papa.
Oh man, that's awesome. You mentioned in the past you would come in a different vehicle. Was it for your business or?
No, it's a little race car we drive around with the family, and it's a 78 Malibu wagon.
Oh, cool. I might have seen that one before then.
The gold one.
Yeah. That'd be awesome too, but I like that you brought this out. Pretty awesome, man.
I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for sharing it with me.
Yes, sir.
So that blue Ford GT that we've seen here, the brand new one, it's like a 2016 or something. That's apparently to buy one of those cars, you had to enter into some kind of lottery, and that guy won. And Ed Bullion from VinWiki, he interviewed the guy that owned it.
It's the same way now to buy a Ford Bronco. Like, you have to get into a lottery, you have to wait 8 months to get it off of a lot because, you know, they're stored them there, which I don't know why somebody would buy a new 2022 car that's been sitting in a field for, 8 months.
People want them.
And then plus the dealers charge, what, like $5,000 or $6,000 over sticker price. That's just stupid.
Yeah, they'll do it because they can.
Now the Tommaso has like a Ford engine in it, doesn't it?
351 Cleveland. It's the big one.
Is that a Holley carburetor on it?
It looks like it. That says it's a Summit.
Oh, a Summit carburetor. That's a clone of the old Holley 4010, which is a clone of the Autolite 4100, which was put on the T-Birds back in the 60s. Because I have one on my 71.
Yeah.
Here's Dominique's El Camino.
Looks a lot like the other one. That's got a 4.3 V6 in it.
Yeah, we had talked to him before about it.
She must be throttle body.
I like the wheels on it. It's like straight as an arrow. They don't have many cars like that anymore from the 80s.
El Camino.
I know, yeah. They had that 4.3 liter in like the GMC Safari and Astrovan later, all the way up until like 2001.
Yeah, they put that engine a lot. I think it's a 5.7 V8 with 2 cylinders.
2 cylinders hacked off, yeah.
It's a 90-degree V6 rather than a 60, which is optimal for it.
I like the flags on the Mopar, America. The Cudas. Yeah. This one right here has the most unique rear glass, unless there's a 77 Toronado XS around here or something. Or an Aero Coupe. This is just a standard Monte Carlo.
Yeah, I remember the huge piece of glass in the back.
You know, only Jay Leno could afford to make another one if it was busted out, God forbid. You know, that's interesting. He has that grounding strap across the heads there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You know, they say for radios that you use flat braid like that for grounding, but really it's ideal at like 10 kilohertz and below. So that's like really low frequency stuff. Like two-way police radios are a lot higher frequency than that. But you use a flat braided strap because there's more surface area.
Yeah.
Easier to make the ground with that.
Right, because electrons travel over the surface rather than through the wire.
Right. Here's another Supra. I don't even think I could fit in one of those, but they sure are cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
An S8, that's a big car.
Yeah, it is.
Well, for an Audi. I mean, still.
It's not as big as the Ultra.
No, my 71's got, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet on it at least. This S8 though, they had the S8s in that movie with Robert De Niro, Ronin, yeah. But it was like 99 or 2000. This one must be newer, like a.
Yeah, the one
I don't even know.
I think was like a 96.
Oh yeah.
Or 95. It had the 4.2 liter V8 naturally aspirated.
Now see, these brakes, like if you go to the auto parts store and you buy brake pads for like my Oldsmobile, they're all semi-metallic, but these ones you could get carbon fiber, you could get organic, you could get metallic, you could probably get anything.
Yeah.
You know, if you pay the arm and the leg that they cost.
Yeah.
I love this Camaro with the T-tops.
Well, they made a V16 with 2 V8s.
It was that generation Camaro that my buddy had in high school. I remember sitting in the drive-through to Taco Bell with the heater on in the dead of summer so that it wouldn't overheat. You know, his timing must have been off or something. Young and stupid back then. Here's a Lincoln Town Car up here on the right. I thought I'd be the only one running white walls besides the big 50s cars, but I guess not.
They're more of a luxury thing. So if you got the Ford LTD, they just came with a lower output. I think it's 180 horse, 302, 50. But those, the Lincoln, I think, came with the 225 horse that was in the GTs.
Well, I know it was a AOD transmission. My dad had an 89, which was before they went to the new Aero style. And he actually had to have that transmission rebuilt as a piece of junk. And you see it has wires on it, but they're not knockoffs. They're 5-lug.
Yeah, you can see the 5-lug.
But it's a beautiful car. Here comes that little van. Nissan, right?
Yes. The homie. It's a homie.
It's an odd one. Like I said, it reminds me of the vans they had in Afghanistan.
Yeah, we called them terrorist vans.
Well, they had like a little van that would run from one side of the base to the other. Which actually, these trucks were available with a 4.9 liter straight 6.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, my 2020 has the 2.7 liter EcoBoost, but I would think that it'd be a little bit less egregious to have the 4.9 liter straight 6. Of course, it'd probably get horrible gas mileage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were real good about that.
But I mean, it would go hundreds of thousands of miles.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this one just goes fast from A to B. Here's a Dodge Viper. Shared door panels with a Dodge minivan from the 90s. Well, I think this one's later, though.
This is the
Oh, is it?
Terrible, yeah. Terrible. I was blown away. It's like
8.
it's like nothing.
Yeah, somebody asked me what kind of mileage my 71 got.
How old are you, buddy?
Oh man, you're the first one that's asked me
I
that.
doubt it.
Here. No, today. There you go. I have it on there.
Really?
Yeah.
240 or 24 similars. Okay.
Yeah. It's worth a Google, right?
Yeah, I already got it. I already know the math.
You're the man.
7-2.
7 even.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah, you were close. What did you bring? What did you bring here?
I got a C5 Z06 sitting way over there. It's trapped.
Oh, okay.
And,
I might have seen it.
yeah, it says the wood on the back. What are you driving?
I have a 96 Oldsmobile 98 over there. So, you know, it's sort of a styling cue. You know, you never put white walls on
You
your
have to do
Corvette.
anything to seat to get in it?
Move it back, but
Well, it can
I
only
mean,
go
I
back
didn't
so
bolt
far.
it back. You know, actually, that's interesting that you mentioned that for tall folks. You wouldn't want to bolt the seat back on the frame without adding gussets to the frame, because even back in the 60s, I had a 64 Oldsmobile 98. You know, they designed it to take a accident in a certain way. If you put the seat back farther on the frame or the body and just drilled holes, you know, the seat would rip out of the body in a wreck.
Wow.
Wouldn't want that.
No.
Helps not having a center console.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd want a center console. You know, they think every car now has to be like your Corvette. You know, like you're driving in a jet fighter or something. But
Yeah, I'm short.
Uh-huh.
It works out for me. What's nice meeting you, buddy? This is my baby. It took me, I've had it for like 40 years. God dang, mine ain't that loud. To me, that's nonsense. Well, it's nice meeting y'all. Y'all take
Nice
care.
to meet you.
Man, that thing's loud.
Anything sounds that way with cut off Flowmasters. Now here's a Saturn,
Yep, Saturn Sky.
which is similar to that Pontiac Sunfire that's over there. And I think in 2000 or 2001, the high output version was the most horsepower per cubic inch that General Motors had released to that time.
Yeah, they made this one also came with the turbo 4.
Yeah, I think that was the engine that had so much output.
Yeah, this one, that's not it. It'll say it's a red line, so it's got the little square that's chrome with a red line through it. So there's a Saturn red line, it has the turbo.
That Camaro sounds better than the other one.
Yeah, it's not quite as
It's a,
obnoxious.
yeah.
That other one, it sounds good for short periods of time, but it gets real obnoxious when you have to live with that. Like if you go on a hour-long road trip.
Forget about it.
Yeah, you're hating live. Your ears are ringing. Heads are pounding. What year is it?
65 Bel Air.
Man, it's pretty cool to make a good project.
Yeah, I got a 70 bit motor in it and a 67 Corvette Tranny 400 turbo.
Yeah. Did you do some tuning on it or anything, or? Because yeah, those quadrajets are, you know, a lot of people call them quadrajunk, like if you watch Motor Trend or whatever. But I mean, they used them all the way up into 90. And then they had the little idle mixture solenoid that was electronic, and then when you turned the car on right before you started it, you could hear it go tick, 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 tick. So, I mean, it's a good carburetor, you just have to know how to set it.
Yeah, it is. That's why I went back to the one.
Yeah. With,
Good one, they don't run no better.
yeah, I had one, I have a 71 Oldsmobile, and I had a quadrajet on it, and I got it tuned in, but then I bought that Summit carburetor. Oh, you know, it's so shiny, it's so cool. And it runs okay, but
It doesn't open up like that.
yeah, the spread bore carburetors can really, you can feel them. Hello. Man, that's a nice one. There's a 67. I love the Kragers with the BF Goodrich Radial TAs white letter out. A buddy of mine is always like, oh no, they gotta be black walls out. I said, I don't know what world you're living in.
No, these are my favorite rim tire combo. They're just great.
Classic.
Very, very inferior.
And Optima battery, you know, I tried to go to one of those and I got a dud, and I had read online that they changed manufacturers, but I'm glad it's working well for you.
Well, that battery is 4 years old, and of course this is a weekend cruiser. But all I do is put it on the trickle charger over the winter.
There you go.
I've never had a problem with that battery.
Those are nice battery cables too. I've seen a couple cars and they're all tricked out like yours, and the battery cables look all nasty, but those are on point.
Yeah, I ordered those. You tell them what ends you want, you tell them how long you want it, and then they ship it to you in a couple days.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Everything on this car is bolt-on. So
It's nice, man.
I can unbolt everything if I wanted to and put it all back.
I like what you did with the body tag where you made the red letters. Like, is that stock or?
My daughter did that for me because she's an amazing artist.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So I was like, hey, babe, I tried it, and then I sanded it off because I screwed it up. I tried it, and I'm like, and she did it one sitting, like 30 minutes if tops.
So with a paintbrush.
With a paintbrush, and then she sealed it for me.
Here's an old Ford.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, like a 71 or 72, yeah. A bump side, I think they called them. A 390.
Or a 352, or a 360, or
Which it has a Holly carburetor on it.
these things came with so many of those Y-block engines.
Pretty cool. You know, I heard this Bronco come in too. It's a diesel engine. Is this a 7.3 Power Stroke? Awesome. Excellent. So does it have an E4OD transmission behind it, or?
Yeah, it still does. Because whenever I did the swap, I did the donor, that's what it came with.
Uh-huh.
So the computer's kind of all the wiring is swapped over. I might eventually do a manual, but for now.
Oh, like a CF5 swap? Did you have to modify the front suspension at all?
Yep. It's all custom. Except from the 2008 F250.
Did you have to have the 7.3 rebuilt or just put it in straight?
Not yet. It only has like 220,000 miles on it. So
Oh yeah, that's not that many for a
I'll
7.3.
it'll hold up for a while longer.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like 10 years I'll rebuild it.
Right.
Tuner on it,
Yeah, it's got a hydro chip on it, so it's kind of.
You put like a big Warren winch bumper or something on it, or a...
Yeah, I might custom build one. I might buy one and modify it. I don't know yet.
Make sure you do it yourself. My dad has a 2018 Ford F250 with a 6.2 gas engine in it, and he told my stepmom that he wanted a winch for, you know, the bumper, and she went to Horrible Freight and got him one of those little winches that you use to like pull a tractor up on a trailer. So I said, man, he should just put it on the bumper, the heck of it. Yeah.
That'd be funny though. Just imagine just putting that little. Like,
Just as a joke,
yeah.
you know.
It just sits there and you smoke the motor.
Yeah.
This sucker probably need like a 15,000-pound winch on it.
The E4OD was just behind the 7.3 when you got the project truck.
Yes.
So you didn't have to rebuild it or anything like
No,
that.
I did.
Oh, because I had heard that those E4ODs were sort of questionable in the 90s.
Well, really, it was like it was recently rebuilt, which is like great.
Uh-huh.
I got a deal. You know, I don't have to rebuild my transmission. Good to go. And then I realized that it was a two-wheel drive, so I had to convert it to a four-wheel drive.
Oh, get all the extra
It's
parts
gutting
for
all.
it. Yeah.
So this is just this output shaft. All right, see you around.
Definitely awesome. I love the Ford diesels. I heard you come in. I was like, man, I hope that's not a Cummins swap.
You can tell the difference. I saw yeah, last month there was a big old, I think it was a 78 or 79 F-150.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a little older. And it had a 12 valve in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
it's
cool.
still cool.
Compression ignition still,
It
but
was still cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
well, you have a good one, sir.
All right, you too.
So, Battle, what did you think of that video? I really like the old body style Ford truck with a 7.3 liter power stroke and an E4OD transmission. Definitely better than one of those Cummins swaps. Make sure that you don't let anybody tell you that it can't be done, because he did it. I also like the carburetor that guy with the Pantera de Tomaso had, a Summit carburetor. You know, he probably heard that old 64 had one of those on his 71 Oldsmobile. He's like, well, if I can't have an Oldsmobile, at least I can have a carburetor, the same one that old 64 has. I also really like the 80s Chevy El Camino with a 4.3 liter V6. That thing must be a workhorse, but definitely a cream puff. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment down below. See you next time, Battle.